Hey lovelies, I'm Queen Lovely. Welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to come on here today and talk about this whole situation that went down last night. Apparently Tasha K was on her app, her website, Tasha K Live, and she said some really disparaging things about Storm Monroe's financial status and, his inability to provide for his mom, and how she stepped in several times and helped him. And I think like her producer, a young woman who works on her team, Chelsea, got involved and was saying disparaging things. Now, I remember seeing that there was a big fallout with Storm Monroe and Tasha K. I'm not sure if I covered it. I don't think I did, because it was a lot of moving parts to it, and I just was not interested enough to really go and dig and get down to the meat and potatoes of it. And to be honest, I personally seen the crack showing in that dynamic when Jaguar Wright entered the equation and when Storm Monroe interviewed her and went viral like several times over, and we just seen a surge in his subscribers. And unfortunately, Tasha K has just proven time and time again that she's with you when she feels like you need her, but then the minute that she feels like she's no longer needed, it seems like she comes up with an excuse to create discord in the connection that she initiated, that she cultivated, and then tries to make it seem like, well, this is why I ain't gonna help nobody no more because of this, that, and the third. And Tasha K sometimes triggers me because she reminds me of my cousin that I fell out with, that told me I was too contagious to go to my mom's funeral. They're both Pisces. They're both married to Scorpio men. Like, it's just crazy. And they both have that Capricorn and Cancer nodal shit. And it's just like, she just triggers me, because the crazy thing is, when I listen to Armon, and when I listen to Storm Monroe's story, and I could be biased, I'm being transparent and putting it out there because of my emotional proximity to this dynamic that I've experienced myself, not by Tasha K, but by way of someone who reminds me of Tasha K. So I could be honest, and I'm putting that out there, and y'all could do what y'all want with my commentary. But when I listen to Armon, and when I listen to Storm, right? And for example, let's start with Storm. Like when Storm said how she reached out to him, this, that, and the third. That's what narcissists do. And I think anyone who's ever been in an abusive relationship with a narcissist, whether it was romantic, whether it was family members, parents, friends, mentors, siblings, whatever the case may be, it's a different type of post-traumatic stress that you deal with. Especially when you are watching people go through something that you went through. Like, for me, let me just speak for myself. It's always like a twinge of uncomfortability. Like, because it's just like the playbook just does not change. The love bombing and, oh, you're going to be so big, and let me do this to help you, and let me do that to help you, and let me do this to help you. But the minute you feel like you're no longer needed, and it's not because that person is pushing you to the side or kicking you to the side, but because they are doing things and gaining accolades and success, and it's not attached to you at all, you want to make it about yourself. And because the positives can't be about you, you want to create a negative situation with someone so that it could be about you. And it's just like the mindset of narcissistic people, it just really makes my stomach turn. Like, it just really does. Because when Storm was really going through the receipts, I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. And let's just take my cousin out the equation. Y'all seen my situation in my Live with Leah show days, and even when I came over here in the beginning when I started Melanated Crowns with that YouTuber who did the same thing. Emailed me, paragraphs on paragraphs. Oh, girl, you are just so intelligent, this, that, and the third. Love bombing, love bombing, love bombing, love bombing, because narcissists have a way of sitting back and observing and analyzing and looking for vulnerable and what they find to be weak spots and then using like a strength-based perspective and constantly pointing out all the amazing things you're doing in tandem with helping you to expand within those lanes of the amazing things that you're doing, only for when you finally reach your peak, because you was going to get there anyways. God is merely using this person as a vessel to help you get to where you were going anyways, only for when you finally arrive. Now all of a sudden it's kind of like a goddamn set, like a set on a movie where they just start removing all the props. They want to come all of a sudden, oh, I helped Storm. Storm was sleeping on mattresses, and when he moved here, I bought this and that. But he didn't ask you to do that. He didn't ask you to do that. So why are you flexing things that you did for someone that you were supposed to be doing out of the goodness of your heart? Because you seen a pure talent and you seen potential, but you're like, okay, this person just needs these things and they'll pop. And it just really irritates me, because this is the shit that I be talking about. Now, granted, I don't expect nothing short of what Armon and Storm Monroe has spoken about when it comes to Tasha K. Tasha K sat on her backup channel years ago in her car when her and Armon fell out. And this was before Daytime Tea, and this was before Storm Monroe. And said, this is a cutthroat industry and I will snake you if I have to. I made a mental note of that, and I said I will never fuck with her. I will never fuck with her because she's not to be trusted. One day I had put 7 stars in my title. This is when I still had Live with Leah show. Her and seven stars came over there. Me and 7 stars was able to have a healthy dialogue like 2 grown women. Tasha K in the chat trying to get my attention, then gets mad and says, fuck it, this bitch ain't even fucking paying me no mind. She want to talk shit, but now when I come, she don't want to respond to me. I don't gotta fucking respond to you. Who are you? But she felt the way because in typical narcissist fashion, she's so used to going into the comment sections of smaller YouTubers and having them fan out, then exchanging phone numbers and getting on the phone with them and joining their lives, that she thought she was going to be able to do that with me and get me under her thumb. And I seen through it. I seen the game. She does the same formula all the time. If you're talking about her in a way that doesn't paint her in a positive light, she's going to try to get close to you, be cool with you, control you so that she can control her narrative. It's brilliant, and it has worked 10 times over. She has a lot of YouTubers in her back pocket, and they gain something too. They gain subscribers and clicks and engagement, which translates to revenue, which translates to, decent checks. So, it's an energy exchange. Everything is an energy exchange, but I'm just glad I was smart enough at that moment not to participate. The best way to win against a narcissist is to not get in the ring with them to begin with. The best way to engage a narcissist is to disengage from the beginning. You understand what I'm saying? And I feel like Storm Monroe is starting to understand that. Like, he's come out and he's given his full story, and now he'll go through whatever process he needs to go through. But Armon, I don't think you get it. I really don't think you get it. And the reason why I say that is because why are you continuously telling this same story over and over again? We all seen it. This is not the first time you've told this story. There's no new information. Like, why are you telling this story all over again? If you're having brunch with Kanye West and you're with the winning team and people regard her as a joke, you're on a T.S. Madison show on Fox Soul, you're getting your plaques from YouTube and your accolades, you have celebrities following you and shouting you out, you're going to Cardi B's birthday parties and Offsets, whatever this is over there, you're hosting events for Iggy Azalea, why are you still giving commentary on things going on amongst other YouTubers, period? Because I would think that if you're rubbing shoulders and doing all of these amazing things, You're too busy basking and embracing and enjoying the things that you prayed for and experiences and people and connections to even pay that any mind and continuously travel back in time and relive it over and over again. And I really hope that you don't have to do it in front of us because it's none of our business. But I really hope that you admit to yourself and address the fact that this experience that you had with a narcissist, that being Tasha K, deeply impacted you. And it's probably triggering something that was already there before she even came into the picture that's tied to some other trauma, which again is none of our business. And I would highly suggest that you address that so you can enjoy the things that you worked hard for and you prayed for. I think we confuse, like we always think more money, more success, more problems. And in my opinion, I don't think that more money and more success means more problems. I just think it leaves us more vulnerable for toxicity and negativity and controversy to come to us. But we have to always stand in our power and remember our power and understand we don't have to participate. We don't have to participate. Just because you're bringing it to me, just because you're mentioning me, just because you're talking about me, I don't have to participate because the Most High knows my heart. And those that want to jump on it and believe it, let them go. Clearly, they're not meant to be on this ride. And those that stay and support you and uplift you and empower you, focus on them. I honestly believe, in my opinion, that Armon Wiggins is still very much so hurt. Okay, and he even admitted it, and I give him props for that. There's this reoccurring thing where he feels like people like to deal with him in private and pretend that they're helping him and building him. But then when they see his potential or when he really tries to get close and get something of substance, they shut the door on him. He's complained about this with T.S. Madison, and he complained about this with Tasha K. That's why he always has to remind us, oh, I did this without no help, no mentor. Because there's times where he really did want that assistance and he felt like it didn't come in the way that made him feel like he mattered. And his feelings is 100% valid, as all of ours are. But I just feel like, Armon, you over the age of 30. I don't know how old you are. Maybe you like 33 or something. But you got to grow up, sweetie. You got to grow up and you got to stop thinking somebody owes you something. And just because you had to get it out the mud and at one point it may have appeared to feel like everybody was against you, that doesn't make your success story any better than anyone else's. Yours is one in a dozen. And that's not to play down what you have accomplished. This is just me giving tough love and giving real life shit. I used to walk around with a chip on my shoulder, and I'll never forget being part of this HEOP program. And, you know, for those of you that's in New York City, we call it SEEK. When you do CUNY and SUNY, you had to go like the summer before your freshman, your first semester of freshman year and take some classes. It was part of the scholarship program I was in. And I remember my professor was like, look, everybody has a violin and a sad story. And when you get out into the real world, ain't nobody gonna give a fuck. White man told us this. And I know some people may say that's harsh, that's racist, but it's the truth. And I'll listen when a white man says it because more often than not, they running shit. And it's the truth. When it's time to sign deals and negotiate and market yourself and pitch, don't nobody care about your sad story. They care about what you represent. How does this brand intertwine with our brand and our mission statement? And how much money can you make us and how much are you going to get on the back end? And it just keeps going while you build your capital, your reputation, and your selling power until you can be the person sitting on the other side. That's, in my opinion, the big picture. All of this beefing back and forth and I got the exclusive and let me interview. I just don't understand why people won't take these raw talents and really put it into something substantial. Black people are so fucking talented and innovative and trendsetters, but that crab in the barrel mentality, that unhealed trauma that we, and I say we because I've been guilty of it too, that we constantly project on one another, well, I ain't gonna help that bitch and fuck that bitch because nobody ain't care, nobody ain't helped me. We always allow that as a collective to overshadow the bigger picture. Because imagine if Lovely T, Tasha K, Armon Wiggins, Daytime T, Storm Monroe all came together. And I just don't understand when the black sector of entertainment commentary on YouTube became this, because I grew up, I'm 26, in the era where it was the Scorpion Show and Sweet Addictions, what is it, Candy from Sweet Addictions TV, and Messy Miles and Funky Dineva and Kingsley and Scotty by Nature and Ashley Miller and James Caldwell. Like, I grew up in that era where they did something called the Blackout and they all got together, Miss PTV. That's what I did. I mean, that's what I seen when they did that. Like, I don't understand. So there was a point where it's like, okay, we all popping in our own right. Yeah, there was some beef, but they was able to put that shit aside and come together and do their own thing. It wasn't no YouTube black. They created their own thing. And it just, I don't understand where the shift happened. I really don't. That's why people like to laugh about Star Marie and say like she came through YouTube and put voodoo. But sometimes I believe that shit. Because ever since that Star Marie and Cardi B fucking debacle, where Mona Simone felt like, was that her name? Felt like Tasha K stole her Star Marie interview. It has been nonstop fuckery for 4 fucking years. Like, I don't even think y'all know what y'all are arguing about anymore. And I'm just sitting here like, I'll be damned if, for example, I go and sit down and have brunch with 50 Cent. Okay? I'm rubbing shoulders with like a Robin Givens, okay? Or a Tamron Hall, because those are people that I wouldn't mind, you know, learning from when it comes to journalism and broadcasting and presentation as a black woman in the entertainment industry. And I'm still coming down to my YouTube channel and talking about some shit that happened 4 years ago. Now, everyone's process is their process. And if this is part of Armon's healing process, I don't have a problem with it. But I'm just trying to hold that mirror up to Armon and show you, despite all of these things, okay, very similar to your good girlfriend, Cardi B, it seems like you can't leave the past in the past. You still have to reference things. You still have something to prove. You say you're not trying to prove anything. You're just telling your story. But we done heard this story 11 times. Now, I'm a Sagittarius. When some shit goes down, I got to talk about it 12 times. You a Gemini. You my opposite. So we see each other. We good. But it's just like, there has to come a point where your peace of mind and the harmony within it, your happiness surpasses the need to respond, participate, and give commentary on shit that, per your words and how you present, is beneath you. And that's just honestly how I feel. This is my spiritual advising session to you. Storm Monroe, I hope that you don't feel the need to address this anymore. Like I say, Tasha K is a narcissist. She is going to continue to take jabs and talk about you. Take it from somebody who has been through the same thing, okay? You can fucking pour a glass of milk and they will bring their asses down to YouTube. Well, I bought that glass. He wouldn't have no glass to pour that milk in if it wasn't for me. Shit, he wouldn't even have a refrigerator in that apartment if it wasn't. That's just how they are. Because in their head, you are nothing without them. You are nothing without them. And you can be years, months, decades removed from them and be constantly clicking away and doing a bunch of things. And they still gonna find a way to insert themselves in your success story. Okay? I feel like God protects fools and babies, and narcissists that are at that level of delusion fall under the fool category. Because you have to be a fool to think that your will and your resources surpasses the will and resources and grace of the Most High. That's why I say it's bigger than us, and it's not even about us. God uses people as a vessel to hurt you and to help you. And sometimes you get both of them. And typically when a narcissist enters our lives and we allow that and we participate and grant it, narcissists can be so manipulative and skilled you don't even know what's happening until you're out of it. But she did help Storm and she did hurt him. But I bet you moving forward, if Storm really has a moment of introspection and really learns from this, it won't happen again. People come into my goddamn email and DMs all fucking day, love bombing. Oh, you like my friend in my head and this, that, and the third. And granted, it could be my post-traumatic stress. I say thank you and keep it moving. I don't over-engage because I've learned my lesson. And I'll never forget my spiritual advisor at the time said it. He was like, you won't ever find yourself in this situation again. And he's right. Because when you get burnt to that degree, especially on a public forum, and Storm is a nice size influencer and so is Tasha K, that level of betrayal, humiliation, and bullying, you don't forget that shit. And what I will say to you, Armon, is I'm still trying to figure out how you can just speak so confidently about how Tasha K is this and that and she's a snake, and you good girlfriends with Jason Lee. Jason Lee is no better. The same thing that you're claiming Tasha K does by befriending YouTubers, this, that, and third, and then Jason Lee was doing that on Beagle and having people's pages taken down. So are you really against the way that she moves? Or are you mad that she misstepped and mismoved with you and you ended up on the bottom of that? Because I believe that we attract and allow to stick where we are in that moment. You understand what I'm saying? And Armon comes from Facebook, where he used to expose people's STD results and status and do stuff like that. So I could see how him and Tasha K linked up. This was my same thing with Lovely T. You understand when her and Lovely T fell out. You have a problem with her bullying, but when Tasha K was bullying that girl that had that Wind Down podcast on iHeartMedia, or that other woman that had a black woman at that had the podcast, you was under Tasha K's comment section in the Instagram talking about drag her. So y'all be knowing to a degree who Tasha K is and how she gets down. You just be so naive to think she's not going to do it to you. And then when she does it to you, it's like you take accountability for dealing with her, but you don't own the parts of when you actually were participating in the shit that she does. That's why, despite Tasha K being how she is, I say I respect it because she made it clear who she was, and she continues to make it clear of who she is. And if you choose to participate in that, you need to be prepared to not only win by way of having your brand and your platform increase, but be prepared to lose. Because God forbid, 48 laws of power, you outshine the master, she gonna fucking come for your neck. And that's just what it is. And I ain't saying to be scared of her. I almost called it the B word. I ain't saying to be scared of her. I hear Needy Leaks better watch them B words. I ain't saying to be scared of her, but just proceed with caution. You understand what I'm saying? I just see, I'm going to just leave that on the floor. I just feel like with Armon is deeper. And I hope he identifies the reoccurring theme between T.S. Madison and Tasha K. I believe that Armon may have some maternal issues. And the reason why I say that is because, similar to myself, and this is just my opinion, I know what that's like to want to find not only a mentor and somebody to help you along, but also find someone to nurture you and be that cushion to you. And I'm not saying he has a bad relationship with his mom, but I just think about sometimes the undertone of his comments as it pertains to Black women. I remember he said that his mom looked like Evelyn Lozada during that OG situation, and that was just really weird to me because I'm like, they don't look nothing alike. She's gorgeous, but she don't look like Evelyn Lozada. And then to see how he has the same feelings as it pertains to Tasha K and T.S. Madison. So I just hope he addresses those things. Like, we all have our things and we all have our stuff. And as Iyanla would say, own your stuff. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents on that. I wish everyone well. Leave Tasha K alone. Like, let her be on her own island. She just got her plaque for 1 million subscribers. So congratulations to her. Storm, you continue to do what you do. You have a very niche audience. You get into the, conspiracy theory, esoterical thing, and then you do your celebrity content. And then Armon, y'all all are doing amazing things in your own lane. Let it go. Because when you make it your life's mission to take down a narcissist, I mean, we seen what happened with Sweet Ma, respectfully. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why it consumes you. So you have to get to a point where you're like, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. And granted, you want to be in the entertainment industry. Tasha K won't be the first or the last person to misrepresent a shared experience that you was part of. So sometimes God sends us through these moments where it seems like we're being crucified every which way, because it's like, look, I'm elevating you. And this is not going to be the last person that tries to initiate a public crucifixion of you, okay? So learn how to navigate this so that when you really get to those new levels and those new devils come, you can see that shit for what it is and not even entertain it. And that's all I got to say with that. This is the Sunday sermon for y'all. But thank you so much for clicking on this video. Before I go, I don't remember if I addressed it because I've been talking for almost 30 minutes. I do have new reading and spiritual advising options on my scheduling page, which is pinned in the comments. Last week when I had the flash sale, and thank you so much for everyone that booked. I really, really needed that money. I've been in a bit of a struggle, but God is still taking care of me, and I'm grateful for that. And a lot of you were saying that, I have limited availability, and some of y'all be wanting to book for after work, but I'm never available in the evening. So I have text options, okay? I have text options, so listen very carefully. For the spiritual advising session, which is not a reading. When you see spiritual advising, that has nothing to do with tarot cards. It's like kind of what I just did right here on my video. For $18.88, you get 20 minutes texting. You come to me with a problem. We text back and forth and have a conversation. If you find after your 20 minutes is up, you would like more time, I will then, through the text, provide my Cash App handle, and then you will be able to continue to purchase more minutes that way. It's the same thing with the tarot readings. I think it's 10 minutes for $15.55. You book, I provide you with the number, you text me with your questions. If you want clarification or you're like, oh shit, we ran out, I have more stuff, it's the same thing. I will provide you with the Cash App handle, and you can purchase more time like that. 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. you can book with me. Sometimes it may take me a little while to get back to you, but I can guarantee same day service of responding to your text. So that is now available. You can book that. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., 7 days a week is the availability. I thank you so much in advance for watching this video, for subscribing. Make sure y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Hit the thumbs up. And if you would like to book a spiritual advising or intuitive session with me, information for that is pinned in the comments. Bye.